If you clicked on this video, it's likely because either A, you're looking to build a small account and make money with less than $2,000, or B, you're already trading with a small account and not seeing the results of the profitability that you'd like. Whatever the case is, this video is tailored to you. I put together a step-by-step guide, including expectations, a timeline to profitability, my exact strategy and rules, a scaling plan for you, and the exact psychology you need to build a small account, all in this one video. Now, as we dive in, there's a few extremely important things that you have to know, accept, and understand if you're going to make and keep money trading in the stock market. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna tell you what a lot of people won't. Here are a few of the facts. 1, trading is very hard. Something that is not talked about enough, but is so important for traders' long-term success. You see, one of the worst things that can happen to a trader is coming in and making what I call easy money. Reference 2020 and 2021, the AMC and GameStop saga. People came in, made easy money, could simply just buy calls and stocks would go up, and thought that trading was easy. Turns out, nearly 10 out of 10 of those people ended up losing that said money. And the reason for that is they didn't understand that trading is a very simple way to make tough money. There's nothing easy about this. Adding on to that, a small account is one of the best ways to start if used properly. It builds our foundation. It keeps us humbled from massive days that cause massive dopamine spikes that end up with us losing that said money. They also allow us to build proper principles to our risk management, to our system, and our overall foundation that will help us for years to come. Now, oftentimes, people think that you need 100 different strategies to make money trading. A few high probability setups will make you a majority of your money. 20% of your trades are going to make you 80% of your money. Similar to how the business saying goes. You want to stick to a few high probability setups within your system that you can repeat over and over. System is more important than psychology. Note 4, which is extremely important to recognize. Now, later in this video, I'm gonna show you parts of my system, how I trade day to day, and how you can build yours too. When we do that and get all those puzzle pieces in place, then the psychology comes into play, and that's where we build this thing into a well-oiled machine. Now, finally, it's worth noting too, profitable trading is possible. Is it easy? Absolutely not. There's nothing easy about this. Many will fail. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but it is possible. I've seen it happen for thousands of my students, for myself, and hopefully you one day. Now on to some myths. The first myth about trading is you will get rich quick and it's easy. Not easy, and you're not gonna get rich quick. However, it is possible, as we said above. More money makes you a better trader. Could not be farther from the truth. The more money you trade with at the start will actually negatively impact your trading because it leads to emotion, it leads to frustration, it leads to impulsivity. And all of these things that emotional trading and those big numbers do to us will end up hurting you. Stick with less, earn your size. There's a secret strategy. Another myth. There's no secret strategy to trading. Now, I've experimented a lot. I've went through indicators, I've went through algorithms, I've went through different paid courses. Nothing beats price action. And that is what we're gonna focus on throughout this video of building your small account. Myth number 4, green is green no matter what. Could not be farther from the truth. As you get into your trading journey, you're gonna experience the want and the feeling to take green the second you do, to post it on your Instagram story, post it on your Snapchat story, to feed your ego with being green means you're good. Simply could not be farther from the truth. I want us to think that green is green and green is good only when I follow my plan. Finally, the last myth is everyone who day trades fails. Are there a lot of failures? Yes, as there is with any industry in the world with the potential of trading. But for those who stick with it, for those that have a plan, which after this video, you will, it is possible, and the rewards are endless. Starting out, there's a few things that you have to know to build your foundation. 1, what is day trading? Day trading is buying and selling stocks, holding stocks, options, and futures overnight. Now, I'm primarily a day trader. Team Bull primarily focuses on day trading. However, for some, swing trading is great. It's all about finding your personality and your edge in the stock market. Now, as I said, I primarily day trade options and futures as my source of trading income. I prioritize taking profits efficiently, maximizing winners, and cutting my losers quickly. I'll go over how I manage my risk and psychology more in depth later. Now, and I want to put some more emphasis on cutting my losers quickly. Because in this game, we're not professional winners. We're not even professional traders. We are professional losers. And a book by an author named Tom Hugard always sticks out to me. The best loser wins, my friends. That's a mindset I want you to adapt. Tattoo it on your forehead. Don't do that. Put it on a sticky note in front of you, and remember that losing is a part of this game. And if we can become good losers, that's what allows us to win over time. A few things that we want to talk about. As traders, and as someone building a less than $2,000 account, or $5,000 like I started with, or in reality, less than $10,000, we have two choices. We can trade options or we can trade futures. Now there's a few things that you have to know about each of these. Starting with options, you're gonna have a larger percentage risk. Now with that comes potential for larger percentage gains, but you have to know what you're doing and how to read premiums if you're going to trade options. Now, I have a free beginner course that I'll link down below for after this video to get your trading account set up, to help you understand what option Greeks are and everything else that you need to know to build your foundation. Now with Greeks, there's a lot of different Greeks. There's theta, there's vega, there's delta, gamma, vega, the list goes on. You need to have a deep understanding of what each of these are and how they work if you're going to trade options. I understand the want to see the premium, to buy a call option or a put option and to make money on it. That's it at its core. But in reality, you're not going to last in this game if you don't understand the instrument that you are trading. Now with options too, we have less upfront capital required because of the potential for bigger gains. With that, again, comes the risk of losing that smaller capital quicker. And finally, we trade off premium price, which I'll go over a little more later in this video. We do not trade off the underlying asset like with futures. With futures traders, we have less percentage risk. We have no Greeks. However, it's going to take more capital required if you're trading on a traditional trading account. That is where funded accounts come in. Now, if you're trading on your funded account, that comes with rules, that comes with stipulations. I'll have more videos just on that and how to pass those later on. You'll primarily be trading MES, which is the micro of ES, ES, MNQ, and NQ. Now at MES, for every point that ES goes up, you're going to make or lose $50. MNQ, up or down, you're gonna make or lose $2. And then NQ, you're gonna make or lose $20. Now don't get this twisted. NQ may only be $20 a point, but NQ also moves dramatically more than ES. Now, I want any of you guys that are looking to get into this, already trading, maybe you've been trading for a year or two, we'll go over the timeline next, and struggling, strictly stick to micros. So now that we have that taken care of, we understand the basics, we know what both options and futures entail, let's talk about the timeline. Because one of the most common questions I get is, Jay Dunn, how long is it gonna take me to become a profitable trader? And I don't sugarcoat this for you guys. Like, I wanna see you guys win, I wanna see you guys become confident traders, and that starts with being truthful. So I put this into 4 different stages for you that I've seen over teaching thousands of students come to life most times. Start with stage 1 through 3. I call this the associate stage. This is where we learn and build our foundation. Now for the first year or 2 of trading, I want you guys fully focused on building your system, on getting screen time in every single day, and focusing on your craft. There's a phrase by famous author Robert Greene, who wrote books like Power, that it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. Trading is no different. That's why when I have people ask me if they can become a profitable trader in a year, it's technically possible, but the odds of it are slim to none. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Because again, the more honest you are with yourself and the more accountable you are, the more likelihood you will be part of the percentage that makes and keeps money trading. So in stage 1 through 3, we focus on getting screen time. We focus on journaling every single trade. We focus on building ourselves up, building our confidence up, and really setting the foundation for a long, healthy career of trading. Now, 1 to 2 years are done. We have an okay idea of where we are. And let's add too, that how you use your 1 to 2 years is going to impact everything. You could have person A and person B. Person A, has been trading for 2 years, studies for an hour a day, treats it like a hobby, doesn't journal their trades, and they'll be in the same spot 2 years later as they were on day 1. You have person B after 2 years who journals every day, who shows up on time to market open every day, who spends an hour, 2 hours on the charts after market every day, who spends an hour on video education every day. That person 2 years in is going to be miles ahead of person A in the same time frame, because time is only useful if we use that right. So let's say we use our time beautifully. We've been trading 2 years and we make the most of every day. Now we enter stages 4 through 6. We call this the bachelors. Similar to college, go to school for 4 years, you study, you get your grades, you get your bachelor's degree. This is where we really start to get our confidence and conviction, which are 2 extremely important things in our trading. You see, Without confidence and without conviction and without screen time to back both those up, you're going to have a really hard time making and keeping money in trading with a system. Now, this is the phase where I see most people start to peak into profitability if they give it their all for years on end, which a lot of people don't do. You know, if you can honestly sit there and say that you put in your 10,000 hours and that you've put in all you have after 4 years, I would be very shocked if you're not becoming or already a confident trader. In that 2 to 4 years phase, I think that's where our real growth starts. So maybe you're there, maybe you're on day one, wherever you are, this is the point you want to get to, because as we go into stage 7 through 9, our master's phase, this is what I like to call the real money. This is where if you take this seriously, if you give it your all to everything, and if you build that confidence, conviction, and earn that size, this is where the real money starts to come in. This is the point where you've put in the work, you've sacrificed, you have done anything and everything towards this mission, and this is where you start to get rewarded with the real money. Now, I'm on year 8. I've been learning this game for 8, going on 9 years, and I can tell you honestly, there has been no better sacrifice in the entire world. It was hard, it still is hard, it was tough, but once you get to that point of flowing with your trading, everything changes. And finally, the doctorate level. You have become a master of your trading. Now, this doesn't mean that you stop learning. You will always need to be a student of the game. But in reality, once you are at this level, you are growing, you are confident, and you are fully aware of everything that you need to do every single day to make and keep money. Now, as far as strategy goes, this is why a lot of you are here, I assume. I want to break you down how I trade, what I do to make money, and a few of the principles I used and how I operate on a day-to-day basis. But before that, I want to share with you a few principles that I used to build my first ever trading account from $5,000 to over $100,000, and how it is so critical to implement these to your strategy or any strategy that you choose. Number one, and arguably the most important of this list I have coming, is no larger time frame level, no trade. As small account traders, we have to be very picky about what we trade. Now, if you're sitting there trading on the 1 minute chart and on the 2 minute chart, you don't have that type of free range as a small account trader to be wrong all those times. We have to really focus on prioritizing good entries, A+ setups, and focusing on catching the bigger winners, which oftentimes come from larger time frame levels. Next, it's important to admit to ourselves, I am at a disadvantage and I must be selective. It's tough to admit, but in a field of sharks, of whales, of hedge funds, you are at a disadvantage trading with a small account. And once you accept that and put in the extra work towards that, a lot starts to change. Selectivity breeds success. Next, I will only trade price action and A+ setups. Now, I'm okay with you guys trying different strategies, testing a different indicator, or whatever makes you trade with the confidence that you need, but I really want you guys to be trading based on price action, because again, I've studied thousands of traders. I have many millionaire trader friends. They all trade price action, guys. Maybe an indicator or two here and there, but a majority of it is price action. So I want you focusing on that, and A+ setups only. Next, 2+ confirmations for each trade. I don't ever want you taking a trade strictly because you think something's gonna happen, because you see one specific level hit and that is it. I want you guys having at least 2 different confirmations, whether it's an indicator, whether it's 2 different time frames, you know, whether it's a candlestick pattern mixed with a daily level, whatever it may be, 2+ confirmations for each trade will save and make you so much money in the end. Next, no more than 2 losses a day. This is a rule that I've kept for myself for the last 8 years. I plan on keeping it the next 8 years. If I lose 2 trades in a day, I am done. Why? It is tilt prevention. It helps keep me humbled, and it helps let me sit back and really realize what went wrong. Because if I have 2 losses and then I take a 3rd and a 4th and a 5th, things can get out of hand very quickly. So 2 losses per day is my limit. If I lose 2 trades, I am done. And finally, focus on the process and the profits will come. Something that not many people do, or they do and they don't stick with. You focus on your daily habits, you focus on being disciplined, you focus on building and trading with your system, and eventually profits will come. Similarly to when you go work out every day. You're not gonna be ripped in a month. You're not gonna be ripped in 2 months, but you eat healthy every day, you stay consistent, you build a workout routine and you follow it. You do all those things for 6 months, a year, 2 years, you are never going to look the same in your life. Progress will come. It's a matter of how much work you put in and the amount of consistency that you use with that. Now, with all that said, let's head over to the chart so I can show you a few key pillars to my strategy, how I trade, and how I remain a confident and disciplined trader. Now, a key pillar to my trading is always being prepared. So every morning before market open, when I'm trading, and especially if I were trading with a $2,000 account or a $5,000 account, is I always know exactly where my trades will be, and I know exactly where my levels will be. So to do this, I pull up SPY and I pull up the 1 hour time frame. Now on this, every day before open, I go and I look for key areas of confluence. We see here, we had a low point here. This was the trade that we took. As a matter of fact, we're gonna go ahead and mark this out. Now, why do we want to physically mark this out? And see, we had multiple touches up here. And again, I have more exact videos on how I find these levels, what exactly I look for in these candlesticks, but to keep it brief for you, I'll give you a brief explanation. We see multiple different opens and closes around these areas on our hourly chart. Touch, fail, impulse candle up, retest back down, found a swing low right here, and move on up. So we mark that out. Let's go ahead and mark out a few more. We see this, resistance, failure to go higher. We wanna have this marked out in case we retest this again at a future date. Go a little higher. Let's mark this out around this 512 area. I'm gonna mark this out for if we get back up here. Again, let's mark this out at this 509, 510 area. We're gonna mark this out. Now the reason that I mark all of these out every single day is when the market opens and I'm looking for specific trades. We're also gonna wanna mark out here. I mark these out because when the market opens and I'm on my 5-minute chart where I trade, I can then go see from a different perspective where my hourly levels are. So when we start making our way down. Now when I trade on the 5-minute chart, and I also have the 2-minute chart open. Those are the two time frames that I personally use to trade. So on one side, I have the 5-minute chart. On the other, I have the 2-minute chart. And how I use this and how this can help you build a small account is that I am only taking trades when we come to one of my hourly levels. And then within that hourly level, I have a 5-minute confirmation, whether that be a candlestick, whether that be an uptick in volume, or whether that be a 5-minute candlestick mixed with a 2-minute buy signal. Whatever that may be, I'm watching both of these charts at the same time because while I'm watching this 5-minute price action develop, I want to see what's happening inside of each 5-minute candlestick. Now, a lot of times, and specifically speaking, let's go back to a trade that I took several days prior, right here. This was on Wednesday, the 24th of April. Let's go back here. This is a great example of some puts that I took inside of Team Bull. Now we look at this, we go back over here. This is something that I really liked because we see here, we touched this hourly level that we had marked out, came on up. We had an aggressive sell candle down, we come back up. Then on the second aggressive sell candle down right here, this is where my system starts to fire. This is one of the key pillars of how I would trade a small account and a great example. So we're testing this level, testing this level, testing this level. We have an aggressive 5-minute candle down. So on this specific trade, I can see and mark out exactly where my risk is going to be. So on this move back up, I look for the low of these wicks in the middle of these impulse candles. And on this, I can see my entry right around here at this 506.7-ish area. I'll have a risk up here, right, to this high a day around like 507.4. So on this particular trade, I have about 40 cents of risk. I have this entry on this lower high here. I have a level that's been tested multiple times and failed. I have lowering up volume on these candles, another confirmation, and I can define my risk clearly, which is gonna be your biggest thing as small account traders. You want to define your risk on each trade before you enter the trade. So on this trade, I enter here. I know that my risk here is about 40 cents to the upside, to the upside right here. Given that, I wanna see at least $1 plus move down to $1.50. We enter right here, we have our impulse candle, we set our stops. Then on this trade, you can see we go from 506.8-ish area all the way down to a low of 503. Now, obviously I didn't hold for this entire move. I got my $1.50 out of this. And even more important, I get my risk reward and I follow my plan. That is the beauty of having a system. That is the beauty of, even small account trading. If you can find setups like this, where you can define your risk beforehand, have more than one confirmation, and execute on it, that is what building a small account is all about. Now on this 2-minute chart here, I watched this as well. We're in between levels on this, right? We fail to go higher, You can see the selling is aggressive in here too. We're getting upticks in selling volume. On the way up, we're getting downticks. We're not getting the same buying volume as we are selling. So this gives me a confirmation too, to enter that short and let this thing rip down. And again, you can see We respect the levels that we drew very well because in my opinion, the hourly chart is the most respected time frame to get solid levels from. Now, I have thousands of more examples of trades like this, trades that I've taken, trades that I've studied, but the main thing I want you to take from this is that I want you guys defining your risk on every single trade. Before you enter, I want you to know your stop loss, and I want you to know where you're gonna start trimming for profit. I'm not gonna say take profit because I want you to really work on holding winners long. I don't want you guys thinking, oh, green is green is good. Green is only good if you follow your plan, and especially as a trader, if your win rate isn't 70, 80% plus, you're gonna have to have bigger winners. Your bigger winners are gonna cover the smaller losers, and that is the only way that this works out. Now, going back to our scaling plan. Now, strategy is great, having rules is great, but without a scaling plan and strict risk management, none of that matters. So here I put together for a $2,000 account, what is applicable to also a $4,000 account, a $5,000 account, or $10,000 account, a scaling plan, a risk management plan to help you define your rules. So with this plan, with a $2,000 account, I want you having a max daily loss of $100, which is around 5% of your account. I get if it varies by $20 or $30, 120, 130. I want you really sticking to that max daily loss of $100. I know it seems small because I want you to be able to have skin in the game and live to trade another day. If you go and blow up and lose $1,000 in your $2,000 account, that's 50% of your account gone. You do that twice and you're done. I don't want you to be done after 2 trades. I want, even if you lose 10, 15 trades straight while you're learning, I want you to get that experience and be able to really get screen time and experience under your belt because that is the only way that you improve. With that, I want your max position size to be around $400, which is 20% of your account. That does not mean that is your max risk. And if you have poor risk management, if you often don't follow your rules, I don't want you using anywhere near this. This $400 max position size is only for if you follow your stop losses and if you have strict and respectable risk. Now with ideal option premiums, this is how much I want your ideal option contracts to cost. I'd like them to be around $100 to $200, give or take. Some will be less, some will be on the upper end of that. But the reason for this is I'd like you to be able to eventually, say you have 4 option contracts for $100. You have 4 options and you're moving up or down. This allows you to trim and really maximize holding runners. Now, let's not get it twisted. I don't want you starting off with 4. I want you starting off with 1 because size must be earned, which we're gonna go through at the very end of this. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. What to trade? I want you trading a basket of 3 to 5 names. I don't want you trading every name in the world. SPY, QQQ, Apple, AMD are a few. I personally only trade SPY, QQQ, and Tesla, though I don't recommend Tesla to any beginners. But I want you guys really sticking, watching these premiums, watching how they move, and learning these names like the back of your hand. The better you learn these names, the better you learn how to trade each instrument, the more success and confidence you're going to have in what you're doing. Now for futures traders, I want you starting off with trading MES and MNQ. Once you can do those with minimal to no emotion, then we can move over to the minis. Also, probably the biggest part of this slide is I want you focusing on risk reward over money made. I don't care how much money you make in the first month. I care about how your risk reward is because we are in a year's game, my friends. We're not focused on making money this month. We don't even care about making money this quarter. We want to make money year over year for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. And the way to do that is prioritizing risk reward and having bigger winners than losers. That is the only way that this happens, my friend. Now, on to what I was talking about with size is I want you starting off with 1 to 2 contracts because size must be earned. Too many people think they have a winning trade, 2 winning trades, 3 winning trades, and they automatically can size up. And I will personally tell you from experience of thousands of students that if you size up too fast, you will get smoked. You will regret it, and it will be a very painful loss. Please don't do that. 1 to 2 contracts at a time, earn your size, and once you can do 2, move to 3. Once you can do 3 with no emotion, you're doing good, move it to 4. If you start getting anxious, if you start trading poorly, go back to 3, go back to 2. There's no rush on building confidence in adding size to your trading. Make a scaling plan, make a risk management plan, screenshot this if you must, write it down, and then psychology. Now, there's a few important notes here that would have made and saved me hundreds of thousands early on. Hundreds of thousands, that is not a typo. Number 1 being, psychology is not the most important thing. And some of you might be like, what does he mean? It's true. Psychology is not the most important thing. You know, even in Team Bull, we have our own trading psychology coach, Jared Tendler. He comes in every other week and helps us learn. Some months once a month, most months twice a month. And even him, as one of the most established trading psychology authors in the world, will tell you that psychology is not the most important thing. It's your system. Because you take the most disciplined person in the world. Let's say David Goggins. Love that man and his books. You put him in front of a computer screen, he's not going to know what the heck he's doing trading if he's never traded before. He might be disciplined and have good psychology, but as far as trading goes, he needs a system and needs confidence. Build your system first and then focus on the psychology. No psychology book is going to save you. It won't. I've read a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. And I can tell you the best thing that you can do is take the key pieces and apply it to what you're seeing and what you're going through. Nothing teaches psychology like experience. Nothing ever has and nothing ever will. Next, the best way to build trading discipline is actually not through trading. It's helpful, but the best way to become a disciplined trader is to be a disciplined person. Hit the gym, be healthy in your eating, keep promises to yourself, become a disciplined overall person, and that will bleed into your trading. I'm not saying your trading is gonna be perfect, but it will bleed into it and help you become a better trader over time. And that's something that people look past. I get the question all the time of, Jay Dunn, how can I become a more disciplined trader? I'm trying everything. I'm like, well, are you hitting the gym every day? Are you following a strict diet? Are you keeping promises to yourself? Are you journaling every day? Are you being a disciplined person? Well, you have your answer. Become a disciplined person, become focused on what you're doing, and the rest will compound and build. It'll snowball on each other. Great trading psychology is built through confidence, system, and time. You need to become a confident trader, which is through having a system, through having an entry system, through having something that you can follow every day, time doing it, and building confidence in that. You cannot build solid trading psychology without having those three things. You do those three things, you focus on them, you stay consistent with them. That is how great psychology is built and stays. Finally, this is a marathon, not a sprint. We are in this for the long haul. Again, you guys saw the calendar I made for you guys, the timeline. This is a year's game, guys. And if you want to stick in this for the long term, you have to accept that. This is not easy money. Just because you see gurus on the internet that have never proved they actually make money, saying you can get rich in 30 days, that doesn't make it true. It's not true. That's not what Team Bull teaches. That's not what I teach. That's not what I went through in 8 years and talking to thousands, tens of thousands of traders and helping tens of thousands of traders learn the right way. Now, after this video, you should have a basic blueprint on how to build a small account with less than $2,000, $5,000, or even $10,000. But to put the rest of the pieces together, I recommend checking out my free course on this YouTube channel. It breaks down how to set up your account, what candlestick patterns to pay attention to, how to trade chart patterns, and everything you need to build a solid foundation trading and to get kickstarted in your trading journey. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you got some value from this. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Team Bull forever.